In the midst of one of the first vascular surgeries that I had the opportunity to scrub into, I heard the vascular surgeon say, "We have to close up. There's nothing more we can do because he's simply not taking care of himself." It was in that moment that I thought, what could be the worst possible consequences to not prioritizing your health? Throughout my experience in the Summer Institute of Medical Ignorance, I had the opportunity to observe a vascular surgeon. In doing this, I was able to see multiple patients who developed severe conditions such as gangrene and severely damaged health issues from atherosclerosis that formed due to diabetes. This is when I realized that one of the worst consequences of not prioritizing your health are the conditions that can arise from diseases such as diabetes. Seeing this sparked concern in me, as most of the patients range from ages 50 to 70 years old. My father is actually in this age range and affected by diabetes type 2 himself. It was in seeing this that I made a personal connection to this field. So what is diabetes? Diabetes is a disease in which the body's ability to produce the hormone insulin is impaired, leading to the abnormal metabolization of carbohydrates, and in the case of diabetes type 2, sugars. This leads to abnormally high levels of glucose in the blood and urine. In seeing so many patients who suffer from the consequences of diabetes, one of my first questions was, how can diabetes cause the nerve endings in fingertips, toes, and limbs to lose their sense of touch, as well as how gangrene develops in those who suffer from diabetes? Well, in learning through this program, I found that when body tissue dies due to the lack of blood supply from blocked vessels, gangrene develops. It can even affect muscles and organs. Normally, the ending is inevitable and unfortunate for those who suffer from gangrene: amputation. When being faced with the reality as a daughter of a diabetic, I began to wonder why diabetics did not prioritize their health in terms of nutrition and exercise when the consequences to their conditions were inevitable, such as gangrene, development of atherosclerosis, or peripheral arterial disease. At this point, I wondered what it was like to be a diabetic who faced this conflict of prioritizing his health versus balancing the aspects of his life. So I decided to interview my father, as he had been affected by diabetes for 17 years. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I try to exercise, I try to eat right, and always take my medicine. Of course, I'm worried about my health all the time, and I take good active care of myself and make sure that I am taking my medicines on time, and I'm exercising as much as I can do, and I'm eating the right foods as much as I can. So I would also, of course, like to have more time to be able to exercise and participate in outdoor activities, so that I'm leading an active lifestyle as opposed to a very sedentary lifestyle. However, my work is very demanding and it does come in my way. Well, fortunately, I'm not in a situation where my health is very bad, so I don't have to prioritize health over career. But I know that if my health was seriously bad, then I would have taken really good care of it, because I am motivated to succeed, both in life and in my career.
It was then that I decided to interview one of the vascular surgeons that I had been working with to see what his perspective was like in working with patients who had suffered from diabetes. Let's see what he had to say.
Well, they're two very different diseases, but people would argue that our genetics hasn't changed a whole lot, yet there's a lot more people with diabetes. So of course there's genetics that plays a role, an important role, but it's a lot of environmental factors and how we treat ourselves. Yeah, mostly diet and lack of exercise, just overeating.
Okay, all right.
And then the atherosclerosis part, main player there is smoking.
Okay.
Yeah, so diabetes and atherosclerosis, a little different.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of patients that do a good job. By the time they get to me, they've already self-selected for doing a really bad job, because all their surgical needs are only for their long-term complications, which means they have not been taking care of themselves, whether they've been smoking a lot or having a poor diet, not exercising. All of those things have led to these long-term complications, which ends with me.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's so easy. They just have to exercise and eat better.
All right.
Change their diet. No one used to have diabetes.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
These interviews have led me to believe that a big part of keeping diabetes in check is a healthy diet and a balanced exercise regimen. But why is it that in a world that is currently so rampant about fitness, that some diabetics are more willing to give up their journey towards a healthier lifestyle when their health is in dire need of it? This is a question that will have varied responses based on the different circumstances that many diabetics face, but it is still one that has tested my curiosity. I also wonder if perhaps promoting a healthier lifestyle for diabetics can be done through ads that display the possible consequences of gangrene due to diabetes. Do diabetics really face the reality of their consequences before they actually happen? And are they educated about it? As of now, the media displays ads that suppress cigarette smoking in today's society. If the media were to put a little warning besides ads that promoted sugary and fatty foods, would the rapidly growing number of people affected by diabetes decrease? I also wonder if diabetics and kids are educated enough about the foods that they are putting into their bodies and how it affects them, and if this will drastically improve their worsening health. The question remains the same as always. It is not more of what they can do, but more of what we can all do to suppress the onset of the growing epidemic that is diabetes. Thank you so much. My name is Kayva Jha, and don't forget to keep it whole with Kayva. Bye-bye.